We've all been where you probably are right now, staring at the ceiling in the darkness, while your thoughts spin like a hamster trapped on an endless wheel. I know that feeling of frustration, lying there, wishing that your brain had an off switch. Well, here, we're going to help you find that off switch. Welcome to your ticket to Snoozeville. I'm your host, Suzanne, and tonight's episode is all about slowing that hamster wheel and hopefully helping you to fall asleep. Each week, we explore different facets of sleep and sleeplessness. We use relaxation techniques and visualizations rooted in proven hypnotherapy principles. But before we begin tonight's journey, please ensure that you're somewhere safe and comfortable. Ideally, your own bed. Somewhere in which you can fully relax and drift off. And speaking of our weekly journey together, I would be grateful if you'd consider following this podcast if you haven't already. Not only does it help me continue creating these episodes for you, it also ensures that you never miss a new weekly episode. You know, so much of preparing our minds and bodies for sleep is pretty easy. It's not hard to make your room darker, to get a little fresh air and sunshine during the day, to set up a fan and cool your bedroom. But so often, after we've done all these things, we turn off the light, lay there in our perfectly curated sleeping space, and our mind won't stop thinking. In fact, the more you try to stop thinking, the more you think. Why is this happening to you? For one thing, most of us are never taught mental disengagement. And in today's world, our brains are constantly bombarded with digital stimulation. Smartphones, social media, and endless notifications train our minds to be in a perpetual state of alertness. We've become addicted to rapid-fire content and continuous connectivity, which prevents our brains from experiencing true rest. So when we try to sleep, our brain has become so accustomed to processing information quickly that it struggles to shift into that peaceful, quiet mode necessary for sleep. Also, when we notice our mind is racing, we often become anxious about it. And that anxiety triggers stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and they increase alertness and mental activity. And that, in a perfect self-perpetuating cycle, makes your mind race even more. When we want our minds to stop thinking so that we can sleep, we need to stop resisting the thoughts. Accept them. Don't fight them. Think of your mind like a river, and your thoughts as leaves floating on its surface. When you try to grab and remove those leaves, you end up splashing around, creating ripples and stirring up more movement. Just like trying to control thoughts creates more mental activity. But if you sit quietly on the riverbank and simply watch the leaves float by, they naturally move along with the current, and the water gradually becomes calmer. It's the same with thoughts. When we just observe them floating through our minds without trying to catch them or push them away, they naturally begin to slow down and drift past. Slowing your mind also starts with winding down properly before bed. And setting up a nice bedtime routine is actually pretty simple. All you need to do is start winding down a bit before bed. Try softening the lights in your home. Even just switching off the bright overhead lights can help. Put your phone aside for a little while and do something that feels relaxing to you. This could be as simple as enjoying a warm drink, reading a few pages of a book, or just sitting quietly for a few minutes. These little changes signal to your body and mind that it's time to start getting cozy and ready for bed. But right now, let's start the process of relaxing your body before we focus on your thoughts. Find a comfortable position, allowing your body to be fully supported. Take a deep breath in through your nose, feeling your belly rise gently like a balloon. As you exhale through your mouth, let your lips be soft, releasing the breath with a slight sigh. Continue this pattern of breathing. In through the nose, expanding your belly, and out through softly parted lips, feeling yourself become heavier and more relaxed with each breath cycle. Now, bring your attention to your feet and toes. As you breathe in, imagine warm, healing energy flowing down into your feet. As you breathe out, feel any tension melting away. This peaceful sensation flows up into your ankles, spreading into your calves and shins. With each breath, the muscles in your lower legs become softer, heavier, and more relaxed. This wave of relaxation continues to rise, reaching your knees and flowing into your thighs. Feel the large muscles of your legs becoming loose and heavy. Let this peaceful heaviness flow up into your hips and lower back. Your breathing continues to be slow and steady as this relaxation spreads through your entire torso. Your lower back relaxing, your belly becoming soft and peaceful. your chest rising and falling gently with each breath. This wave of relaxation flows down your arms, through your elbows, into your forearms and wrists, all the way to your fingertips, which feel heavy and warm. Finally, let this peaceful sensation flow up through your neck, relaxing all the tiny muscles there, spreading into your face, your jaw becoming loose, your forehead smooth and peaceful. Your entire body is now wrapped in a blanket of deep, heavy relaxation. And now that your body is in a relaxed and comfortable state, primed for sleep, let's explore that crucial insight about our racing minds that most of us fight our thoughts. We tense up and try to forcibly push them away. But now you know that the more you fight your thoughts, the more power you give them. So tonight, I want you to observe your thoughts without judgment. Think of your mind like a mountain lake at dusk. Picture that mountain lake in your mind's eye. The surface is perfectly still, like a sheet of polished glass. When thoughts appear, and they will appear, they're simply ripples on this surface. Your job is not to stop the ripples, but to watch them. When a thought emerges uninvited and unexpected, just observe it. Don't analyze it. Just notice it, like a small ripple spreading across the lake's surface. Then let it go. Right now, the water reflects the soft, fading light of evening. Blues blending into deep purples. Let's imagine it together. In the surrounding trees, birds nestle into their cozy nests. Tiny sparrows and finches huddle close, their soft feathers fluffed, heads tucked under wings. Warmth radiates from their small bodies, and your own body begins to feel equally warm and heavy. Keep picturing the surface of that very still lake. The day's last light touches the surrounding forests. Tall trees stand silent sentinels, their reflections creating mirror images on the smooth lake's surface. And deep in the lake, all marine life sleeps. Small fish float motionless, suspended in dark waters. Underwater plants sway slowly, rhythmically, like breath. Salamanders rest in hidden crevices. Frogs settle into muddy banks. Everything is at rest. Your muscles follow their example, releasing tension with each exhale. If a thought emerges, uninvited and unexpected, again, just observe it as a tiny ripple on this perfect surface. The ripple will naturally dissipate. The lake's surface, like our mind, returning to absolute stillness. The lake is like a mirror, reflecting only darkness and quiet. Your breath remains steady, deep, calm. Breathe in, breathe out. Darkness begins to settle. Fireflies appear at the distant shore, tiny intermittent lights, blinking like soft thoughts that come and go. The air becomes cooler, filled with the musky scent of pine and damp earth. Your body continues to grow heavier and more relaxed. Keep picturing the surface of the lake, undisturbed, still. Somewhere far away, frogs begin their evening chorus. Not a loud interruption, but a soft, rhythmic background pulse. Their sounds blend into the evening's quiet, but don't disturb the pristine, unmoving surface of the water. Everything is still. Everything is at peace. Every creature's heartbeat has slowed. Eyes are closed. The entire landscape breathes with a single synchronized rhythm. Your own breath matches this rhythm. Slow and measured. The lake now seems even darker and deeper. Starlight begins to emerge. Pinpoints of light reflecting on the water's absolutely smooth surface. As complete darkness falls, the lake is now a perfect black mirror. Thoughts may come, but they are mere whispers, ripples that vanish instantly. You can imagine the lake anytime. Peaceful, quiet, at rest. Whenever your thoughts become overwhelming or stressful, you can make your mind like the surface of this lake. And allow thoughts to come and then go, returning the lake to its peaceful state, at peace right to its bottomless depths. The more you practice this visualization, the easier it becomes to still your mind, to accept and simply observe your passing thoughts. Your body knows the way home to sleep. It comes as naturally as breathing if you simply let go and give in to this moment of stillness, feeling the soft warmth of your sheets, the gentle weight of your body sinking into the mattress. Let go. Just drift. Just be. And if you still need a voice to keep you company a while longer, after a minute of just this peaceful music, I'll return and read to you for a while. We are now all the way up to chapter 16 of Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Part 4. The Log Cabin. Narrative continued by the doctor. How the ship was abandoned. It was about 1:30. 3 bells in the sea phrase that the 2 boats went ashore from the Hispaniola. The captain, the squire, and I were talking matters over in the cabin. Had there been a breath of wind, we should have fallen on the 6 mutineers who were left aboard with us, slipped our cable, and away to sea. But the wind was wanting, and to complete our helplessness, down came Hunter with the news that Jim Hawkins had slipped into a boat and was gone ashore with the rest. It never occurred to us to doubt Jim Hawkins, but we were alarmed for his safety. With the men in the temper they were in, it seemed an even chance if we should see the lad again. We ran on deck. The pitch was bubbling in the seams. The nasty stench of the place turned me sick. If ever a man smelt fever and dysentery, it was in that abominable anchorage. The 6 scoundrels were sitting grumbling under a sail in the forecastle. Ashore, we could see the gigs made fast, and a man sitting in each, hard by where the river runs in. One of them was whistling Lily Bolero, waiting with such a strain, and it was decided that Hunter and I should go ashore with the jolly boat in quest of information. The gigs had leaned to their right, but Hunter and I pulled straight in the direction of the stockade upon the chart. The two who were left guarding their boats seemed in a bustle at our appearance. Lily Bolero stopped off, and I could see the pair discussing what they ought to do. Had they gone and told Silver, all might have turned out differently, but they had their orders and decided to sit quietly where they were and hark back again to Lily Bolero. There was a slight bend in the coast, and I steered so as to put it between us. Even before we landed, we had thus lost sight of the gigs. I jumped out and came as near running as I durst, with a big silk handkerchief under my hat for coolness' sake, and a brace of pistols ready primed for safety. I had not gone 100 years when I reached the stockade. This is how it was. A spring of clear water rose almost at the top of a knoll. Well, on the knoll, and enclosing the spring, they had clapped a stout log house fit to hold 20 of people on a pinch, and loopholed for musketry on either side. All round this they had cleared a wide space, and then the thing was completed by a paling 6 feet high, without door or opening, too strong to pull down without time and labor, and too open to shelter the besiegers. The people in the log house had them in every way. They stood quiet in shelter and shot the others like partridges. All they wanted was a good watch and food, for short of a complete surprise, they might have held the place against a regiment. What particularly took my fancy was the spring, for though we had a good enough place of it in the cabin of the Hispaniola, with plenty of arms and ammunition, and things to eat, and excellent wines, there had been one thing overlooked. We had no water. I was thinking this over when there came ringing over the island the cry of a man at the point of death. I was not new to violent death. I had served His Royal Highness the Duke of Cumberland, and got a wound myself at Fontenoy, but I know my pulse went dot and carry one. Jim Hawkins is gone was my first thought. It is something to have been an old soldier, but more still, to have been a doctor. There is no time to dilly-dally in our work, and so now I made up my mind instantly, and with no time lost, returned to the shore and climbed on board the jolly boat. By good fortune, Hunter pulled a good oar. We made the water